Janine.
You there?
I am there. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear
can't
you.
see you.
But we can't see you. Is your video
I'm
turned
gonna
on?
put my video on. Hello.
Okay.
Right, let's go.
1 second.
Let's do our intro.
Shall I do a little introduction? Should we make this a little bit professional? I'll stand up for this. Right then, my friends. Joining us on the show next, we have a band that not only are going to be one of the first on the main stage at this year's Slam Dunk Festival, not only are they performing at the Heavy Music Awards this year as one of your live artists, but they are also nominated for not one, not two, not three, but five-time nominees at the Heavy Music Awards 2023. My friends, show a lot of love and appreciation for Janine from Vukovi.
Hello.
John's just blowing up our microphones.
There we go. How was that for an intro?
That was so awkward, wasn't it?
You can get a noise complaint.
I'm like, I'm so glad. Like, as soon as I pressed the link, it just came straight to you guys, and I was like, oh my god, am I live? Is this live?
Luckily, I could sort of see you. Well, I could see your name. I could hear you. But you weren't live on the stream, so...
Could you imagine, like, I said something really fucked up, or, like, was on a phone call? Like, do you know what I mean? Never know.
Gotta go on this fucking Jon Mahon Show. I'm sick.
I've just cancelled myself.
What a bunch of cunts. Am I allowed to say that?
Well, we can swear on here all we want, Janine, which is probably music to your ears that you don't have to edit yourself. How the fuck are you doing, my friend?
How the fudge are you doing?
How the fudge? I'm good. Is my what's the word? Am I like in time and all that?
Yeah.
Have I set this up right?
Yeah.
You perfect.
Sound perfect.
I'm class, aren't I? I'm so class.
First time.
Honestly, this has been the most stressful thing for me to set up a live stream, but we're doing it. So
Ollie's like a swan at the moment, graceful as fuck on the surface level, but his feet underneath are just going.
Having an absolute breakdown in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
where are
It's
you?
been
Where
a
are you
bit of a
now?
mad few months. Been a bit of a wild few months. Had a lot of changes and life changes, and I think there's just a lot of existential crisis going on right now with everyone I'm speaking to.
Oh, tell me about it.
Don't know why that is. Obviously,
time is an
something in
evil mistress, and we're all just heading towards impending doom. But we gloss over it with shit like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Aye, just make a joke. Just make a joke and walk on.
We're all gonna die.
Well, it is so wonderful to have you on our debut show. Thank you ever so much for taking the time out. And you said big changes just then. I mean, if it's not too much of an intense question, what kind of big changes have we been talking about recently?
Well, we've moved, like, changed, like, up our team.
Okay.
We've actually moved to 5B management.
Awesome.
Which has been a great move for us, and I feel like it was something that kind of organically happened, and it is the best decision we have made. So that's been a big change.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're signing a new deal, but I can't tell you who it's with yet. But yeah,
Let's fucking go.
aye, a new album deal.
Joe bands are like big things coming that you have.
No, I know. I don't. I
Big
was
things
like,
in the
I'm
works.
big things coming, but I can't tell you anything really. Really mysterious.
Oh, well, we won't try and pry anything out of you that you don't want to share just yet. But what we will happily talk about is the fact that you're nominated for 5 Heavy Music Awards, which is the perfect testament to how hard yourself and Hamish have been working over the years to turn Vukovi into the well-oiled machine that it is now. You're up for Best Album with NULA. Am I pronouncing that right, by the way? Is it NULA?
NULA.
NULA, sweet. Best UK Artist, Best Live UK Artist, Best Production, and Best Album Artwork as well. And considering all of these awards are fan-voted and industry compilated, like, how awesome is it to be at this stage in your music making career and to be getting this level of recognition across the board?
I mean, It's just been, honestly, only way, I mean, obviously it's amazing, but like, I just think me and Hamish are a wee bit like overwhelmed by it because it's like, we'd never been nominated for anything before. Like, we hadn't even been nominated for HMA in the past, and it was like, oh, here's 5. And I'm like, all right, don't do things in small doses. So, I mean, obviously, it is a great feeling because you do feel seen and you feel heard and you feel like you deserve to be here. And that, yeah, all your hard work is starting to pay off in terms of recognition. But I honestly think we've just been trying to kind of get our heads around it. But also, I think because there has been a lot of changes to the team and we've been writing a lot lately. There's new music coming very soon. Very, very soon.
Slam dunk soon.
Not slammied soon.
Okay.
Oh, I just got it slammy. God. I love it. Every time I'm like, see it slam spunk or see it slammy or see it slam dog.
Slam drunk is another one.
Slam spunk.
Slam spunk.
Oh, I thought you said slam spunk. Slam spunk's a good one.
That's what we're going to be calling it at the end of May.
Slammy spunk.
Spunk holiday weekend.
Oh God.
It's going to be like not too far after Slammy D.
Tasman says, I'm sure you'll get this award for worst footwear, which I assume is
For Hamish.
Directed at Hamish.
No, I'm going to be honest, Hamish doesn't wear Crocs anymore.
Well, he had this whole thing and it's like, they're not Crocs, they're Vans, but they look like Crocs.
They're still birth control, so I think they can be counted as Crocs. No, he doesn't actually wear them anymore. I think he has actually broke his virginity. I think that is maybe why, but we'll see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if you end up clearing up 5 HMAs, all 5, if you take all 5 home, I'm going to buy him a commemorative pair of Crocs to mark the occasion.
Don't you dare. I think like, yeah, so I think, sorry, that I was trying to make a point and I just totally went in a big segue there.
We probably derailed it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so bad for it. I think like, and I do think it's quite easy to just get completely consumed by something like that, like being nominated for 5 and focusing on that too much because it's unbelievably amazing. But I think as a band, we've always been like, what's next? What's going forward? Like writing new music. Like we want to make our music the best it can be. It represents us the best.
Hell yeah.
And it evolves with us. So.
Well, we were talking before, and I was saying like I've been a fan of your band for many years now.
So long.
I was gonna say it must have been 2015 because people don't know I used to work at Scuzz, and that was the first time I ever heard Vukovi. We got sent I think it was the Boy George video, and I was like, "Who is this band? They're like amazing." And I've always thought that you should be where you are now. Like throughout the years, but it seems like now you're actually getting the recognition that you should have deserved for a long time. So.
I mean, it's been a bit of a cunt of a ride, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Quite frustrating at times, but
you've been through the ringer, like
but who we all have. But I think I think we've learned so much, obviously, for doing this so long, and like, I honestly, I know it sounds really cliche, but I just think like if you believe that you should be doing this is what you're put on this earth to do.
Hell yeah,
do it. Like as long as it takes. Like obviously, fucking within reason, but like I think if you believe it yourself, then it will happen, and you put the work in, and you're open to improving and learning and being unbelievably resilient.
I think because that's the thing. I think so many people, not even just in music or just in life, if something goes bad, they're like so quick to throw in the towel. Like, oh, I'm done, I'm out. But
I say it all the time. I'm like, fuck this is shite.
Yeah.
One of the
metaphor, like the things I saw the other day was like the best shot in golf that Tiger Woods ever did, which is like one of his most famous shots, got a big hole in one or whatever it was. But the shot he did before that was one of his worst shots. So the reason he got his best shot was because he had to He had to make the bad shot in order to.
He had to be shit in order to be great.
He had to make this terrible shot in order to make the great shot. So it's like.
And on the back of that as well, one of my favorite, like, you know, cheesy cliche motivational sayings is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And like
Trying to do the maths.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. And sometimes, you know, those shots miss. Sometimes you do have to throw in a holy amount of shit at the wall before something sticks. But in a band setup, and especially the setup that you and Hamish have formed, I think on a day where one of you might not be at 100%, your dynamic feels like the other person's there being like, all right, come on, dickhead. Like, yeah, I get it.
100%.
Yeah, I feel where you're coming from, but this is a team. I got you today, and on a day where I'm not feeling it, you'll pick up my slack as well. How important has that been for you getting to this point, having a brother in Hamish?
Oh
like
my
that?
God. Honestly, like the amount of fucking, like, I think because we are so close, literally best friends, like we talk to each other all the time because we're doing this, we're in it, we're balls deep. And like literally, there's no going back. But like, I think you have to be able to respect each other and what they bring to Vukovi. And I think me and Hamish have always been like that. Like when we did first meet, like we've always had very similar styles and views, but also we have our own uniqueness, I suppose, and I think that comes with a lot of, we have different life experiences. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just.
But to me, Hamish seems like the most sort of chill person you could work with.
I mean, to be fair, like he literally likes everyone. Like it gets quite annoying. Honest. Like he literally
come on, you hate someone.
He literally sees the best in everyone. Like, you can just say he's a cunt. Just say he's a cunt. We all know he's a cunt.
He's
just say it.
Well, Hitler had some nice qualities.
I know. He might draw that line. I think he draws the line on Hitler, to be fair. But I think, I think it's like a yin and yang thing, because like sometimes I just get really like, I blow off the handle and I get like really angry dead quickly, and I just get raging for no reason. And he's like the calm one, and like, let's think about this logically, and sort of, yeah, it's
just like, he brings you down to like
my rage. But I'm definitely a lot better now. Yeah, I think it just, I don't know, it just sort of worked. I don't know. Do you know what? I've never been in another band, so I don't know.
Have you thrown any crocs at him?
Excuse me?
Have you thrown any crocs at Hamish?
I mean, I every time he would wear crocs, I'd put them in the bin when he
when he's sound checking and he's being a bit too loud. He's like, get the croc and just like bat him around the back of the head. Maybe not physical violence, but close, very close. But one thing that I did want to talk to you about, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn that I had a conversation with you prior to NULA coming out, that you said that it was, or you didn't want to use the word concept album, but you said that the album had concepts behind it and almost like a theme or like a storyline. Mm-hmm. And for people who, you know, they might be discovering you at Slam Dunk at the end of the month for the first time, or they might be hearing about you at the HMAs for the first time. And with this record getting spotlighted so hard at the HMAs, like if you wouldn't mind just telling a little bit of the backstory behind this album.
So I suppose, like, I think over lockdown, like I just went in a mad sci-fi rabbit hole, and that's something that I was highly involved in when I was younger. Like that was my escapism, was sci-fi movies mostly, and the whole sort of concept of the album is like a colony ship leaving the moon to Mars. It's the first colony ship going to Mars because the Earth is fucked, basically. But it's in the Sanctity Corporation. This is like a big sort of capitalism organization, I suppose you could say, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos style company. And that is going, that the whole, so the start of the album is basically the colony ship is leaving. This is it. It's going for it's a new start to Mars. But I'm writing a book alongside it.
Damn.
Yeah, so I don't want to give too much of the story away, but it's something that, again, I've always wanted to do, and I did write a lot of it over lockdown, and then I'm co-writing with another amazing writer, and she's also a scientist,
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's ridiculous. And it's been so nice to just working with her and sort of creating this universe. Because the whole idea of NULA was an alien that was discovered on the first trip to Mars.
Is that actual, like that's an actual thing?
Yeah, this is in the story.
Okay,
No,
sick.
John,
So
John was saying, has that actually happened in real life?
Did I miss?
No, I mean, that's when you first imagine I'm like, that's happened.
Breaking news.
Tom DeLonge was right.
Aye, and everyone's like, no, I don't think that's real. And I'm like, that happened in real life.
The government's just covering it up, isn't they?
Just totally gaslighting folk into believing that it actually happened.
Right, so NULA's the first alien they discover.
Yeah, so they discover this being on Mars, and this is like, so just imagine the first landing of the moon. It's basically fast forward in the future. It's the first landing of Mars. It's all like getting live streamed and all that shit. And Science Decor come across this alien who's a child, and they're just like, how the fuck can she survive on this planet? Like, we could literally use her as a resource, exploit her, so that we can get humans to live on Mars. So there's a bit of a horrific scene, and then they kidnap her. And then it's like 20 years later, I think it's 20 or 15 years later in the book. And this is when it's the colony ship is now going to Mars. Now NULA is on the ship, but she's older now, and she almost breaks free.
See, I'm invested.
I'm so invested. I
want this book.
I literally watched.
I'm so happy. By the way, I never talk about it because I actually, you know what? It's a total confidence thing. Like, I just sometimes think like, oh, am I just talking pure shite? But it's actually quite nice to talk about it.
The thing is, when you're describing it, I can sort of picture it in my head. I can see the characters. I can.
Oh well, it's I've got like there's going to be like some graphics with it, and obviously like in the future, I want it to be a film or a series.
Yeah,
sell to Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. That's the dream. That is the dream. But
well, Gerard Way did it with Umbrella
Academy.
I know. Like Gerald, but that would be sick. Like. So that there's a bit in the album where it's like the kind of, I don't know, it's like an instrumental break, and then this is sort of meant to be like the turning point when NULA sort of breaks free.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I suppose it is a concept album. Like I just, yeah, and there's I don't know anyone's noticed this, but there is Morse code planted throughout the album as well.
What is in actual?
As in like
Morse code, real Morse code,
Really?
yeah. There's little messages.
a nice little Easter egg.
Little right. I'm trying to like pure think ahead of the book, so like it's just all these little bits that I think.
Do you know what? I love it when bands do that.
Same.
Like
I was just about to say, as a massive 21 Pilots fan,
Yeah,
like
they've got
on the Blurry Face record, they created the Demon Law with the bishops, and I like it got so much that like I, as a dyslexic with undiagnosed ADHD, my brain at one point was just like, ah! But like with ideas like this, I've said it for the longest period of time, is that like bands with ideas need people believing in those ideas, because these are some of the most unbelievably creative people on the planet who have the capability of combining melodies with ideas and combining the two. And you look at films have always had soundtracks, and those soundtracks have always hit at certain emotional moments to combine with what you're reading, what you're seeing, or what you're watching. Why can't it work the other way around, where the music tells a story with the visuals?
100%. Like, I think personally there's not enough theatre in music just now. There's not enough theatre.
100%.
Like, I'm not gonna sit and trash talk fucking the music industry now and say it's bland, but it is pretty bland.
I think
like obviously I'm a massive music lover. I have got so many bands that I love and artists that I love, but I just think like it's escapism. Music's escapism.
That's what
like,
people buy into as well.
What did you say? Sorry.
That's what people buy into as well. If you have like a strong like,
don't break like this illusion. It's like you artists. I feel like artists. Sometimes I feel like artists give away too much nowadays, and it's like you don't have to give everything away to people. Like you give people what you want them to see, and you want people to have if you want people to have an illusion of it. Obviously, you don't. If that's not the way you want your art to be seen as, that's fine. But I just think people people want that escape. They want 100%. An illusion. They want theatre.
Yep.
And then I think movies and soundtracks is the perfect example. And yeah.
And as you just said as well, I feel like when fans fall in love with bands, they go hunting for lore, they go hunting for Easter eggs, they go hunting for storylines, and you turning around then and saying that there's some fucking Morse code in that record. Like, I hope when we start clipping this interview,
I've never said that before.
I've never actually I hope there's some Vukovi fans out there like, fuck, after this stream's done, I'm gonna sit there and like try and like figure out like where it is. I might even study Morse code.
It's like your dad sells Avon or something stupid. No, it's not. It's actually not.
Everyone who's watching this, after this, just whack on NULA. Listen to some random
As
dots.
if we need excuses to stream NULA.
Is it literally just like...
Yeah, so I think we put some in... I think there's 2 songs it's in. And it's yeah.
That's fucking...
Yeah.
You could write like a breakdown in Morse code, couldn't you? It's like kick drums, it's like... There's a little idea for you.
But actually, so when we did like the planetarium, we did our album launch in a planetarium, and we got like this incredible animator to do visuals as well, and it was all in like 360, like what do you call it? It was like such a special moment in my life. I'm gonna be honest, because put so much work into it, and like the whole like visuals. He works for this really amazing gaming company. He did some stuff on Love Death Robots, and Scottish guy, and who's called Scott York. I'm gonna just give him a shout out. And he like with the whole like start, where again it's like this sort of lift off, and like it's like this feeling in the air that there's a new start, and the ship, and yeah.
Sounds amazing.
I think like for me, like when I said at the start of the year, I was like, Hamish was like, we should do it in like a planetarium and all that and do this stuff, and Hamish is just like, absolutely, let's fucking do it. So just seeing, we sold out in 45 minutes, like, and we could have done probably 3 nights, but I just like didn't believe in ourselves enough, I suppose. But like just that whole night was so life affirming for me, like experiencing our album with visuals and getting a handful of fans to give them that immersive experience.
Is there any way you could like release that in like VR or something, or like?
We probably could, to be honest. Like we have all the footage. I never thought about that. Like we could probably do it on our YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about that. But yeah, that's.
Janine, that's fucking awesome. Like genuinely, I'm so glad I asked that question, because like I wasn't.
I didn't know what you were going to ask me tonight, so I literally was like, when you asked me about it, I was like, oh fuck, I'm going to fuck this story. There's an alien and she's kidnapped and she's like really angry and stuff.
I'll be the first to buy the book.
Yeah.
Oh, I really can't wait. Like I think like I wanted to rush. I was trying to rush and get it out for the album launch. Then I was like, no, I need to really think about this here. Like I don't want to rush this. I want it to be an incredible story. I want the story to be there, and I want to put the time into the artwork.
Hell yeah, take your time on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Get it how you want it, and not how someone else wants it to be in order to fit their timeline. Like, this is such a magic idea.
Yeah, so I feel that's exciting for me. Like, I'm buzzing about it.
Hell yeah. And we're buzzing to not only see you at the Heavy Music Awards, but to see you at Slam Dunk Festival as well. And in terms of like NULA and the Vukovi set list, I mean, like, you got quite a healthy selection of songs to choose from these days. No. And I mean, like, has there been many disputes between you and Hamish in terms of what should and shouldn't be in the set list?
Honestly, I wish I could be like, we've split up and all that for a week because of it, but no, like genuinely, like we're just like we just know what works in a crowd situation, and again, like if I feel strongly about something, you were like, okay, let's do it. Vice versa, like it's
sick.
I think we're just so comfortable with each other, and we trust each other so much now that
you've got a few warm-up shows before Slam Dunk, haven't you?
Oh yeah, we're doing like. I actually think they might all be sold out now. I'm not sure.
We have had that. I don't know if you can see the fancy little ticker that's going across the bottom.
Enter Shikari,
Yeah,
enter
so the
Shikari, enter
ones-
Shikari.
But you're in the you're in the middle bit because they I think I put them in date order. But your warm up shows were in there. And when I went on your website earlier, I don't know if they were all sold out or whether there might be a couple of tickets.
I think
left.
we're waiting on an update, but I think there might be like 10 left from Mountain Keynes. And maybe like, I don't know.
In the YouTube chat, Bruce and Charlie are watching and they say, best fucking band ever. And also,
Bruce and Charlie. I know these people. Is that my pals, Bruce and Charlie?
Well, they said they'll be at the Norwich show, and will there be a meet and greet?
Oh, that's not my pals, but hi. Bruce. Two of my best friends are called Bruce and Charlie. That's so random. I was like, what are they doing? Not these guys that I've just commented, obviously. There isn't going to be a meet and greet, unfortunately. We've just never really done meet and greets, and I'm going to be honest. We've got 6 shows in a row, and I just wanted to try and save my voice, and I think I'll be quite stressed that week because it's going to be a very intense week for us.
Yeah.
So I want to try and like rest as much as possible and not like get absolutely steaming every night.
Especially when you've got Wembley that week. Like, is that your first time?
Yeah, it is actually.
Featuring Scene Queen.
What is that? I mean, that's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, just as if opening up the Slam Dunk main stage on the weekend wasn't big enough. Just got to warm up Wembley first.
Aye.
Oh, so there we go. Look at the bottom of the screen now. There you are, Vukovi.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm so buzzing for those shows, like genuinely, because I think like the album's been out for a period of time, and I think people will be way more attached to it. So yeah, I'm really excited to play those shows, and we do need the warm up.
No, you don't. Like, you guys can walk out on stage and just smash it in your sleep if you wanted to. Like, I saw you at 2000 Trees Festival.
Oh, you introduced us
on stage with a bottle of vodka raw in one hand, no mixer required. Like, you had one can of Red Bull on the side of the stage that I think you kicked over on your way onto the stage. That was your one, like your mixer to alcohol ratio was so brave. And like the mixer went out the window and there's you like just stood. I've got this great video on my phone of you just stood in front of stage, like telling the crowd just to get their energy in order. And then it's like one big swig, song starts. Like,
was that Mr. Fridge?
Shit.
Was that Mr. Fridge show?
Yeah, it was.
He turned up. Fridge. He definitely got crowd surfed against his will. Like, he did not consent to getting crowd surfed.
Because you rallied. You were like, everyone get around Mr. Fridge.
Oh my God. That's one of the most surreal moments in my life, because I genuinely, when I saw Mr. Fridge, the first time on the main stage, we played 2000 Trees, and I saw Fridge and I was like, am I finally having a breakdown? Is this?
Am I tripping balls right now?
I'm dying because I just couldn't understand. I really couldn't compute why there was a fucking fridge in the crowd. It looked so real. It looked like a real fridge.
He tapes actual produce onto himself.
He's got like bird's eye peas and things and all that. Like, so I think I had to stop the gig, and I was like.
But then you got like a
circle. Is anyone else seeing the fucking fridge?
See this,
did you get a circle pit around him in the middle?
I was like, get the fucking. It was class. They had like you had these like fridge bodyguards. Like, you know how you get like the pit gatekeepers, the guys. There's always a couple of cunts in the pit when they're just like, this is their moment to shine, which I fucking love, because I think full out of class, but they're like proper protecting the fridge from getting it taken out.
Protect the fridge at all costs.
Protect him at all costs. Yeah.
Because that Trees performance was the last time that I saw you, and
right, okay. I was like, you meant that was pretty special.
Yeah, because that was the return of the fridge the last time you played, because you headlined
not the Axum. It was the other one,
the new stage. Was it?
I think it was the new stage.
Yeah.
We headlined. Yeah, that was the last time we played Trees, and that's the one you introduced us.
It was indeed. Thank you for that as well. Do you know what? I'm gonna let you in on something. Like, I like when I'm DJing, don't tend to get nervous. Like I did like Boardmasters Festival and did like the Silent Disco. That was the biggest stage I've ever been on. Didn't really have many nerves. For some reason, I was so fucking nervous going to introduce you. Yeah, going to introduce you on stage. For like my brain was going, yeah, but what if you forget how to talk? And I was like,
what
introducing
living
Vukovi.
Aye, where can you?
But I was like, as long as I get in there, here we fucking go. They won't eat me alive. So I was like, all right.
They don't give a shit. That show was so special for us. Like the energy before we even went on stage, like you could just feel this.
It was electric.
I feel like you're like now one of the like Tree's like favorite bands. Like every time you go back, I feel like your crowds just get bigger and bigger. Or
it's
more insane.
Just mad. Like we've got so many people. Like, how are you not playing this year? It's like because we've played it for the past fucking like I don't know.
Yeah. We've had our residency.
We need a wee break. We need a break. We'll come back next year.
Can't miss us if we don't go away.
I'm telling you now, we're not playing it unless we're getting the main stage.
Hell yeah!
No.
Yeah.
That's what our agent's gone like that. Is that right? Yeah. On the short screen.
We'll hold Trees hostage until then. It's like, look, if you want the goods, you gotta fucking pay for them.
I don't know, man. It'd be nice to headline a bigger stage. A bigger tent, sorry. A bigger tent. I think tents are better.
Yeah.
Tents are
Tents do have that Sweatfest vibe about them.
Yeah.
I will give
I take that back. We'll definitely open up with we'll be happy to discuss like a headline in one of the bigger tents.
Hell yeah. Well, Janine, before we get out of here, is there anything that you want to tell anyone watching right now, any of the Vukovi fans? Is there anything that you just want to say to your fan base?
I just get really like flustered when I get asked these things because I just like, I don't know, our fan base is everything. Like there's no Vukovi with no fan base. So they're the people that make us believe in ourselves. And I hope that what we do is inspiring to them to do what you love. And believe in yourself, and it always gets better. And I think like I feel like once we drop some new music, like that's it.
Fuck yeah.
Well, I don't know, but I'm like, that's it. Then you're like, but what does that mean? I'm like, that's it. what does that mean, Janine? I'm like, that's it.
That's it.
So,
you know what that means.
No, we're all go. New team, new label, and we just want to step it up and yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, Connie Davis in the chat says, we love you, Janine, and that echoes a statement
thanks.
that we've heard as well. We do indeed love you, Janine. We love you, Janine. We really do.
No, I fucking love you guys. Like, honestly, see, every time you interview us, John, at fucking any festival, it's just an absolute bomb scare. Like, we don't even talk about anything. We just fucking talk shite and laugh and...
One of my favourite memories, I don't know if you remember this, we did some press at Slam Dunk with each other. I just tore my Achilles at the Heavy Music Awards, and it was me, you and Hamish sat on that sofa, and we were like three of us crammed into a sofa that was way too small for three people, but all three of us were sat there, and like the interview just went off the tracks at one point, and we were all just laughing and joking, and you went to say something, and you were holding a can of Red Bull, and you thought it was the microphone, and you spoke a whole sentence into the can of Red Bull, and like it floored me and Hamish. I just feel like
Is this thing on?
I just feel like that's the beauty of like you as a human being. Like you can just instantly like make people feel just like so safe, so happy, and enjoying life.
I love that. John, I'm going to start greeting. I'm quite emotional today.
I mentioned before, remember the first time we did a takeover review on Scuzz? The outtake reel. I wish I had it. It's somewhere in a vault somewhere.
I would fucking love to see that. We've never done a TV appearance in our lives, and we've got this team of guys and like directors telling us what to do, and I'm like, can I swear?
There must have been like half an hour of outtakes.
I remember one guy was like, I'm raging. Do you know what I mean? He's like because he's not better today than listening to us talking shite and fucking it up. Anyway.
Well,
Yours probably me.
Janine, thank you ever so much for your time today, my friend. We can't thank
No
you
worries.
enough. And
Congrats on the new show.
thank you.
Thank you for being a guest on. This is the very first
The
one.
debut show. So you're
Like, and honestly, I love the Forever Loud.
Oh,
Kent
thank
Ollie.
you.
Like, you know your shit, and I just think it's a great coverage. It's great coverage.
Thank
You're
you.
making me emotional now.
We'll all cry together at Slam Dunk.
I know, man. What we like? Aye, right.
What do
Well,
we
I'll
like?
see you at HMA. Is it?
Hell yeah, you will. My friends, one time make some noise for Janine from Vukovi.
Bye. Did I just hang up now? What did I do?
Yeah, that's it.
We'll transition.
Yeah,
you
we'll
off.
transition you. But thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Janine.
Bye.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.